Hello to my Aquarius. This is Queen Amun-Ra coming to you with your general reading, Aquarius. Let's get some of this oil here, awakening oil, which you can find on my Etsy store. You can go to my website, queenamunra.com. You can find it there. Thank you to all of you all who support my channel. You all know how I feel about you. I send you all personal text messages. Those of you all who I have your number. And through giveaways and so on and so forth. We're currently in Libra season at the time of filming, even though YouTube may put this video back out at a later date. All of these videos are timeless, and I really appreciate everybody who tunes into my channel to just support the this community, how you all pray for each other, how you all send out good energy to each other in this community, how we all connect under the moon pictures, that are posted, all those wonderful things. And certainly how you support, like I said, support all of us within this community. So we're going to get into it. Let's get into it. I will post information about these cups I will tag it in my store. And then also, like I said, that's not in my Etsy store, but I'll tag it in the store. You can also go to my website to find the Etsy store. And so I have some of these cups here. I may actually in my Libra videos, I gotta think about it, do I want to give some of those away, because I do have some extra cups, so I'll think about it. If I do a giveaway and give some of these cups away, then I will post it in the Libra video, so you have to go and watch Libra video. Everybody has a 7th house, so really when you want to learn about, when you want to piece everything together, watch the video for that particular house. You all rule the 11th house. Doesn't necessarily mean your zodiac sign is Aquarius in 11th house, but you are becoming awakened about the number 11. When you see the number 11 in any way, shape, form, or fashion, just know that something in you inspired something, okay? When you see the number 11, what I was picking up on in your reading is somebody's father or mother or son sacrificed you after all the sacrifices that were made, right? Somebody wanted to do a destiny swap, and something was so overwhelming for you in terms of your gifts. That's when you realize you were a psychic. That's when you realize what psychic gift that you have. You started having downloads and dreams, and just like something was just overwhelming. Like, I don't know what to believe. I really don't know what to believe. I don't want to believe that my parent or my child could sacrifice me for fame. Remember, on this channel, I don't look at celebrities I don't idolize humans, right? I don't idolize humans. So when I see, like, for fame, somebody wants to be a star, right? When, guess what? You're answering the call on your life. You're already a star, meaning that you serve purpose, right? And so a lot of people don't know that coming out of the womb, no matter how much their parents tell them, hey, don't just follow the crowd. You're your own individual. The saying that a lot of parents say to their kids, and I don't know if your parents said it to you or not, if your friends jump off the bridge, you're going to jump off the bridge too. You're going to follow every little thing they do, and peer pressure is very, very real for some people, but some people sacrificed you, whether you realize it or not. So let's just get into it, right? Let's get into it. Yeah, they tried it. And so we're going to walk through your somebody sacrificed them, and they in turn feel like, okay, they need to sacrifice you, right? You got a lot of major things, and as disappointing it is to find out who did what to you, and whatever their reasoning was, it doesn't really matter. That's what you got that slit and your lips are for. That's for talking. That's for opening up your mouth and talking. The moon is currently in Capricorn, and when the moon is in Capricorn, it could affect your backbone, your joints, your knees, your skin, and your hair, right? In other words, Capricorn symbol is a sea goat, S-E-A, goat, right? So as you're ascending, you'll start to feel if you're carrying other people's emotional weight on your back. In other words, some people want you to do good at this level, but as soon as you start to ascend higher, you'll realize these energies don't want to let you go to a higher frequency. They, for whatever reason, and whoever they're chained to, they could be ashamed, fearful, or embarrassed that they're still connected to. They could be chained to, hooked on something, hooked on this romantic relationship, hooked on embarrassment or shame or fear, whatever they're hooked on, right? They want something to stay a secret, right? They could be engaging in some kind of unhealthy, wounded sexual practices and don't want you to know certain things. They could be hooked on something, you know, they're demons. They don't want their demons to be exposed. So they would rather try to ride your coattails as you're ascending, hoping that, okay, you're not going to catch on. This is why I talk about moon phases on my channel, right? And so somebody's either parent or child recently will have been sacrificing you. And so you being a star shining in dark spaces, you came out the womb knowing that you were a star. Something was unique that stood out about you. Even if people teased you for it, it was something that was unique that stood out about you, Aquarius. And so you already being a star, some secret has already come to light as to who sacrificed them. Another Aquarius sacrificed them, a loved one, right? And so somebody decided to sacrifice you through somebody else, right? So they could have been a friend of theirs, they could have been a part of a club, a group, a gang, whatever the case may be, but somebody sacrificed somebody and somebody decided to sacrifice you. And this is disappointing as something is, it's come to light. And so somebody's head was even probably swimming upside down. Somebody was definitely feeling like the blood was rushing to their head, right? So this would be like equivalent to like if you have kids or a parent, or they connected to somebody who's already a star and they figure, okay, this is how they already a star, you know, they really no respecter of person, you know, they probably already laid the groundwork because you all are known for your friendliness. They probably know a lot of people, so you know you can just kind of sort of hide up under their star. That's not how it works, right? You got individual stars serving a purpose. Each serves its own purpose. They even have names to these stars. If you're a stargazer or a star watcher, each one of these stars have a name. So, which means that you're responsible for your own star, right? My community wants me to thrive. That's the community that you want to be in. Your community does not want you in survival mode. That even means if your family sacrificed you, siblings, your kids, your whomever, lottie, dottie, and everybody, okay? And I'm not saying this to be funny either, but you be surprised at how people look at you and go, this person, oh, you know them? Or this person, like the pictures and things that you all may post, you may think, okay, hey, I'm no respecter person. Okay, I just happen to meet this celebrity, or I just happen to meet this people that people idolize, and you taking pictures or whatever the case may be. People like, what? I always wanted to meet that person. If I just stay connected to, you know, Aquarius, then I can meet that person. Where you're not even looking at celebrity status. You're just looking at, hey, listen, you just taking a picture with somebody, and ain't no big, you just talking to the person, you know, I really always admired your work, whatever. You're not sitting there stalking them. You're not sitting there, you know, can I keep in contact with you? Can I, you know, like working the connection? You're just like, okay, I just took a picture with some people, and I really admire and I really respect that they're operating in their purpose. But guess what? They respect also that you're operating in yours. So we've all, I want to say every Aquarius has worked with someone who people idolize, whether you worked in whatever field, government, any industry, government, entertainment, sports, whatever the case may be. Well, again, here you are no respecter of person. You're not, you know, in the pictures trying to flick it up, you know, taking sexy pictures when it calls for professionalism, right? Whatever it is, but some people, you'd be surprised at how many people want to get to know other people, and instead of them contacting you directly, they'll try to link you into something unhealthy and wounded practices because that's what they're connected to. So we're going to get into it. And again, I'm trying to decide about it, but in the meantime, they will be in my store that I will link below this. I will tag the story below this, and then to find other things like these oils and this kind of thing, and gemstones and crystals and candles and all those other wonderful things that I so appreciate you all supporting. You can find that in my Etsy store. You can go to my website for that. You're safe and protected. You're safe and protected. Because of your star and because of the groundwork that you've already laid, people know who you are. They know who you are. They know what you're really, really about. And they know that something was created right? Something was created to sacrifice you, right? And so everything that you learn will be used for your life's purpose, right? So in other words, Aquarius, even if you have kids that are Aquarius, or my cross watchers who may have kids that are Aquarius, Aquarius rules 11th house. So you were born a star. So make sure you start protecting your kids and family and moving like a star, right? Because some people do idolize people who just kind of sort of are just kind of sort of nonchalant about, you know, their star. You're sort of almost minimizing it, like, okay, I'm trying to live a normal life, and people are looking at you like, okay, who is this person? You know, this person is just kind of sort of moving through life, just kind of sort of like blase, and people are thinking, okay, they must be somebody. How are they paying their bills? How are they doing this? How are they doing that? I can tell you, I worked for an organization for many years, and it took a long time for me to tell people the name of the organization that I worked for, because when I first started working there, I remember coming out of my building, and you all will see this in my book that I'm actually writing, because the building with the exit that I used to leave out of, it is now a very famous building by a very famous person, but the building wasn't famous before, but it's known all over the world now. So I'll mention that in the book as well. But I'll never forget walking out of the building, and after being sworn in and all this other stuff, and being told, you know, tuck your badge in when you leave and all this other whatever. This person, like, they descended from the sky. I don't know where they came from. And apparently the person was high. They want something. And they said, oh, do you work for something? Like, I had literally just tucked everything in just to make sure, you know, people couldn't see. But sometimes you're not even thinking, you being no respecter of person, and people feeling like, because you're so down to earth and relatable, Aquarius, and I'm talking to men and women Aquarius, that they see, oh, I've always wanted to get to where you are, where you look at it as like, oh, okay, that's just kind of sort of the norm for you. So learn how to protect your energy. Learn how to protect your energy. You all are really not a braggadocious zodiac sign at all. It's just, some people like, you didn't seize that opportunity. You met who and what and when? And so, no, that's just not your energy. This reading is for October 1st through October 8th. We know that October 7th, the corn moon, is going to be in Aries. Somebody did something to sacrifice somebody to sacrifice you, right? Which is, you know, like I said, it's harvest time for you all. It's harvest time. So it's harvest time in not only information that you're gaining, because you're going to find out who created what at the core of who created some kind of scenario to get you hooked into some sex crime or some kind of sting or whatever got you caught up in some mess. But you're going to find out who's at the root of it. And remember, the number 11 is significant. So whenever you see it, you'll know, you know, you are being enlightened. You are being enlightened by the universe. So the current energy is star energy here, right? So your card appears confirmation of divine alignment here. And so Spirit says that you are stepping into renewal, healing, and also soul clarity. So this is really going to explore the spiritual lessons, higher guidance, and energetic shifts flowing through your path this week, right? From the 1st of October through the 8th. You may be watching this on the 30th, right? The challenge is the moon, the past, right? Illusions or uncertainties may cloud your vision. Spirit reminds you to trust your intuition, not surface appearances, because you haven't really know what to believe. You're like, okay, I can't believe that somebody's son would be involved, or somebody's mom or dad would be involved, or whoever the sun or shine of your life, whether it's your son or daughter or whomever, would or that close to you would be involved, and they would be running with dark packs of wolves, like meaning that they're running in packs with people, like they have the same religious and the same because when we talk about wolf energy, y'all remember this book right here. So if you're new to my channel, this book right here, we talking about wolf energy, animal spirit guide. Let me share something with you all just in case you're new to my channel, because somebody's like, I cannot believe that somebody this close to me would be running with people who are operating in secret, right? but you better believe it, because if something has been exposed that you were the sacrifice. You were the sacrifice, right? So let me share something with you all if I can find the page. And again, this is the Animal Spirit Guidebook by Kim Kranz here. And so let me, here's wolf energy here. So this is so y'all see the page that I'm looking at, this wolf energy here. So guardian of family, tribe, activism, and spiritual, and ritual, excuse me. So religious or political studies. So you can't believe that somebody is running with the same religious group or political, they have the same religious beliefs or political beliefs, right? The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. So healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, right? That's religious or political studies, right? So right there, there's a line drawn in the sand. Y'all may not be of the same faith. Okay, that's first of all, right? For instance, you could be Catholic, which some people consider as Christian, some people don't. Catholicism is something totally different. And then you could have somebody who's Jewish, or someone who is Baptist, or like Judeo-Christian, or whatever the case may be. But so again, you being no respecter person, you're just going along la-di-da-di-da. I have no judgment towards this group or that group or so on and so forth. You know, I'm just, hey, this all love. Like, we on this love tour, right? And so the wolf gets in trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. So this includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. And so although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. So contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none, right? So when it's balanced out, it's reliable, democratic, and fearless. When it's out of balance, it's judgmental and dominating, right? So you see this death card here. Sometimes somebody says, okay, we need to eliminate somebody who's not going to go along with this process or program. We need to eliminate them. That was you, right? And so to bring things into balance, you're practicing letting go. Okay, so that's, we're going to start right there. Okay, so just because you are born a star and may have said, okay, well, hey, you know, again, I need to separate how people idolize celebrities. And I've met a lot of people, right? That people would be like, oh my God, you met that person? No way. Yes way. You took a picture with them? Yeah. How were they? Down to earth and relatable like any other human being? They put their pants on just like you do, right? Not dismissing their sacrifices that they made in order to be in the career that they're in. That's not dismissing them at all. It's more or less acknowledging, just like, wow, from one star to another. This is not about how much money somebody makes, how much money you make, but from one person who recognizes this star, you're actually genuinely happy for people when, and I'm specifically talking about you all, Aquarius. Like I said, really, y'all are just wired that way. You're just no respecter person. You just feel like, you know, everybody's born a star. Like, you didn't know you were a star, right? Stars don't have a problem, you know, shining in dark space. Every time you go somewhere, I told this to another zodiac sign, but you could put a potato sack over your head and it would still be light, you know, flickering from under that potato sack. You cut the eyeballs out. I know that's you under that potato sack, right? Basically how people treat people, that the human beings that they idolize, right? But the number 1 is significant. Like, this reading is for the 1st of October through the 8th of October. Number 1 is significant, just as 8 is significant. Scorpio rules 8th house. Aries rules 1st house, right? So look at your 1st house and look at your 8th house, okay? Your zodiac signs there. Because people had a first impression of you that if you were a star, or if you had any level of celebrity, that you must be willing to do something. You must have gone through some kind of overwhelming initiation process. See the dark and light? It looked like the 2 pillars of the number 11, right? You must have gone through some kind of initiation process to become a star, right? That was the assumption, right? So number ones are dignified and straightforward and has a penetrating sense of direction. One is a vibration that represents the masculine aspect of our human experience. So all number one people carry dignity. One likes to stand out, is proud, achievement oriented, represents the primal impulse, and has strong self-worth. And so ones always will demand respect and feel set apart from others. Ones have strong views and definite beliefs, and protects those that are vulnerable. So they are private, value their solitude, and enjoy spending time alone, right? Ones are very affectionate with those whom they love and trust, but trust is a key word here. But they are not keen on having an immediate familiarity with people they just met. One is comfortable around younger people and children, though they may at times feel sadness arise from childhood memories. Maybe you were picked on because something about you stood out. Maybe you had big bug eyes. You know, maybe you had a big water head. Maybe you had really skinny legs. Maybe you were shaped like a potato. I mean, who knows, right? I'm not trying to be funny, but something stands out, right? Something stands out. Maybe you were just that really nerdy, incredibly smart kid. People were like, okay, this person is always talking about the distance between Uranus and Saturn and Pluto and this, that, and the other. They don't fit in. They just approve. They don't fit in. They don't like to have fun, right? But something about people who know that they are a star, and it's not just Aquarius. This just happens to be your card. Some people exude this confidence from when they were younger, just like, okay, don't invite me to, don't they invite me, but don't invite me to certain things. I don't want to be involved in certain things. So since ones are naturally self-centric and, here to learn to be self-sufficient and self-reliant, they also have a great desire to be in love and be loved by a partner, right? So this paradox exists perhaps because they need to explore first independent and then reach out and learn to be interdependent, right? Right? So you were sacrificed in some way, shape, form, or fashion because somebody wanted to be a star. In other words, as compassionate and forgiving as you are, it doesn't take all that to be a star. Some people really don't know what it takes to be a star. And again, I have to reiterate, I'm not talking about celebrity. So somebody had to go through an initiation process, number 11, right? So when we talk about the number 11, which is a master number, somebody had to go through an initiation process what they thought would make them a star. But somehow they encountered you and realized if it was an Aquarius to an Aquarius, somebody could have figured, okay, they listening intently because you're innovative in your thinking. You're always thinking. Your brain never turns off. The pillars for the number 11 are a doorway, and they symbolize an initiation. So your overall divine mission is to delve into the mysteries and miracles of life. So to walk through the pillars and unite active and passive, right? Look at this right here, dark wolf, light wolf energy, to unite active and passive, emptiness and fullness, receptivity and action. So all becomes one within you, right? So when you enter the temple of awareness, secret, right? You have made a choice to live fully. And so with total acceptance of every situation that appears before you as being by your design, your beckoning, and always for your highest good, no matter how it appears, right? So let's say, for instance, water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds it. Maybe you came from, or maybe your parents came from, or maybe your kids are somehow attached to something that's something secret that they're doing in secret, going through some kind of process, going through some kind of initiation process. Something was overwhelming for you, but guess what? Because you're connected to them, it's a direct connection to them, whether you're the father, mother, child, whomever, you felt it and it was overwhelming for you, and it came in through your dreams, all right? And so as disappointing as because you're just passing on through, right? As you're passing through, this is another Aquarius, as you're passing through, somebody communicated something to you that you held on to. The number 6 is a very nurturing number. So it could be about a sibling, it could be about a child, it could be about somebody, but another Aquarius, they may not have come directly out and said, hey, such and such is into such and such, and they're going through whatever. But a fortune was to be made. This is the wheel of fortune, right? Somebody told you something that made you vomit, purge, right? That made you sick to your stomach, and something stopped. Like basically somebody could have said something to you like code, right? And you didn't know at the time it was some kind of code. They were telling you something like, oh, let's just grab a sign out of here. Let's say it was another Aquarius who were so contaminated by energies that they were around, or let's say it was because this is Pisces card, this is Scorpio. Basically, somebody was saying, hey, let's say you have a parent or a child, because we're talking about your immediate core, right? That is a Pisces, Aquarius, or Scorpio. Let's just throw these signs out here for just a second, because they're in the major arcana. Another Aquarius could have told you that something was going on behind your back as you were just passing on through. You could have been passing through their store. You could have been passing through, just passing through on the phone with them. They were telling you something was going on without coming right out and saying it. Because sometimes you want people to be so direct, but they really just don't want to be looped into something like, oh, so-and-so Aquarius told me such and such and such and such. Somebody was telling you something as you were passing through in a physical sense. How this person is on the boat and your ancestors got in your ear and said, wait a minute, I know I didn't hear what I thought I heard. So all of these signs are coming to you that somebody has gone through some kind of an initiation process that they did not have to go through. That they did not have to go through, and something was overwhelming for them, right? So your current card here appears, and so the source is saying that you're stepping into renewal, healing, and soul clarity. And so the moon would be a challenge for some people. So illusions or uncertainties may cloud your vision. Spirit reminds you to trust your intuition and not surface appearances. I always say when you have a download or dream about something, let's say for instance you have a dream about fish. Let's say you can't get pregnant, so obviously it's not you. Or, people say, oh, if somebody had a dream about a fish, somebody must be pregnant. You can't get pregnant, and it's not you. But you're pregnant with purpose, right? Meaning that your psychic gifts are so overwhelming for people. It's like it drives people to drink. Like, oh my God, like how in the world does this person know this secret and that secret? And so are they sure they're not attached to such and such and such and such? Hey. The polarity to Pisces is Virgo, so that would people like, okay, we need to create something so we can get close to this energy, because what they're a star in a different sense, meaning this is part of your psychic abilities. They're a star in some sense. Somebody could be having a past life downloads. Like meaning that you could be remembering something from your childhood that how kids be sitting around, watching TV, but really not watching TV, but listening to adult conversation. You could have been like remembering some stuff, but trying to piece some things together while everyday life is going on right now. So you're a thinker. So that's why you're, Uranus and Saturn are both retrograde right now. And so Uranus is going to be retrograde until February 2026. So that's boots on the ground. Like, do not go off checked out somewhere. If you feel like, okay, your mind is about to drift in another direction, Aquarius, go outside and get some fresh air. If you get ready to feel like you're about to get fixated to a point of obsession on something, get yourself up and go walk outside and get some fresh air. Stick your head out the window like a dog does when they ride down the road and they got their tongue stuck out and the ears flapping in the wind. Do anything but get outside and get some fresh air, okay? Get some fresh air. Because something is overwhelming in terms of your gifts. Something is overwhelming to a point where people really think, whatever platform you're on, people really think that you're talking about them behind their back, when so many people have the same thing in common. This is where you say, okay, I got to tune everybody else's situation out, and I got to zoom in on mine, my core family, mom, dad, kids, if you have any. If you don't have any kids, then that would be mom or dad if they're still alive, or if they transitioned, somebody could be dead. Somebody could be going through a loved one who's transitioned over karmic cycle. So somebody's like, okay, they left this debt, so somebody in the family has to pick up this debt. Two people in this family have to pick up the debt, you and somebody else. So somebody could have died and they could have left a spiritual debt, a karmic debt, right? And so somebody could have been like, okay, this person, like a person who owed a lot of money, they could have owed a lot of this and a lot of that. And so sources say somebody trying to ride your star basically could have done some kind of a you know, put some kind of death spell or something on your star, anything that was going to anything that was going to involve you or loop you into something that would have gotten people a fortune. You know how they say, well, you know, celebrities, they're worth more dead than alive, right? Again, if you're a celebrity, then you're a celebrity, you're celebrated. But I believe everybody is celebrated by somebody, right? So that's what I look at. I don't idolize human beings, but that's not everybody's story. Because I've been to concerts where people were passing out, sweating, ambulance had to come, all of this other dramatics. They were showing more drama in the audience than it was on stage, right? And I love a good performance, but all of that out in the audience, oh my God, look how they look in real person. I'm like, okay, really? Like, okay, just calm down, right? So, but again, now that it's a waxing gibbous moon, some of the things that you all can do, because the moon is still in constructive phase, right? And you're still in constructive phase. Some of you all are just now realizing how many people's path you've come across and how people would, I mean, literally get sick to meet them. They passing out, body going through shakes and all that just to meet certain people that you just say, hey, you live next door to somebody, or you live down the street from somebody. They're like, oh my God, what? Oh, you gotta go talk to them. You got their number. So the workings for growth is one thing that you can do for growth and success during this waxing gibbous moon. You can also journal about your goals and see where you can refine those goals. Also, attraction. Some people do attraction spells, like the law of attraction, right? You can go look at the Capricorn video. I kind of sort of really read out of this book here, 12 Laws of Life, right? Which have the laws of attraction in it. And let me just read this one part to you all. Most people like to use the law of attraction to attract things into their lives, like a partner, a better job, more money. This sometimes succeeds, but usually it won't. If it was, we would all be living in our dream home and be satisfied with our bodies, but we are not. There are many reasons people do not find the result from traditional teaching of the law of attraction. And so one reason is that they do not realize that there are 11 other laws. There's the number 11 again, right? That could be considered for working with this law. And so another reason is that they don't match the energy of their desire. And so it is not enough to want it. You need to merge the frequencies that you want, right? And so we get what we vibe, not what we ask for. So in other words, there were some people who did not believe in their dreams, and they wanted to find a way to latch on to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and say, okay, we're gonna catch this star, this rising star. But the way that they did it was through some kind of humiliation, to humiliate you behind your back, right? And it was overwhelming to another person. But it's overwhelming, like, okay, I can't believe you would do something like that just to be a star. Like, are you serious? Are you kidding? But it was somebody caught some people who didn't know what to believe about your star and how you'd risen to be a star. So the one example that I gave on Capricorn's video was how I'd worked for this agency for many, like double-digit years, and had never, or if I did take a vacation, it was so long ago, then by the time I left the agency and I started traveling, I had retirement money, set up. So you working that hard, y'all got to remember, a lot of people keep forgetting how much you all are also ruled by Saturn, which is a very hard working planet. It's an outer planet, it's a generational planet. So by the time I left, hey, I had money to pay off my vehicle at the time and also to travel, right? And I'm overlapping with, but again, source is saying to you, things that were being done behind your back to make a person feel like this is the way you become a star, or this is to become you became a star. You already have the secret because you were born a star. Like, in other words, really no respect of person. If I want to be invited to something, I'll be invited. But hey, listen, if I'm not feeling it, I don't care who is there. I'm not feeling it. Right? You're not putting human beings on a pedestal like they're your God, right? So something has come to light. Something has come to light. Some people are realizing just how successful you are and how you're getting out in the sun. You're removing stale energy off of your spirit, all of that. Well, in other words, whatever some people were trying to loop you into, you're not that person, right? You're not that person. Despite, you know, somebody feeling like something in your past would just be overwhelming to say or do behind your back to try to sink your boat, to stop you from moving on, you know, onto, because again, when you're born a star, and again, it's not just Aquarius, it just happened to be you kind of sort of something about your light, it just exudes this like, okay, I could take it or leave it, right? But you're also appreciative of source for the day that you were, the creator created you on that, you came through the womb, it's like, okay, now you're starting to notice what people will do for fame, what people will do to shine, for their light to shine bright, right? So your conscious focus is the sun, right? So the past influence was the Six of Swords here. Like you could have been just passing on through and somebody could have told you something. You're like, what? But it grew like the number 6. Like, okay, so wait a minute, I don't know what to believe. Like, but something inside of you grew, right? And of course, if you're a fixed sign, it's going to keep growing and growing and growing until something comes to light. You're going to keep talking about it. You're going to keep journaling about it. You're going to keep on, something is going to grow like a child is growing inside of a mother, right? It's going to keep growing until you go through a rebirth, right? So, so something you may have been holding on to for a really, really long time, right? And people don't really know, people didn't know what to believe. So people were kind of split down the middle. Okay, we don't know what to believe and what not to believe. And if this person is a psychic and they completed these life cycles, how would they not know such and such and such and such? Again, water is shaped and guided by the earth that holds and surrounds it, meaning that sometimes you got to go through a Saturn return, like physically move away, move out of the job to kind of sort and see in hindsight, okay, I had no idea they was doing all of that at work. You had no idea that was what's going on at work. Because you was in a spaceship somewhere. You had no idea that was all going on in your hometown, wherever you could have moved from. You had no idea, had no clue, completely oblivious to it. Does not speak to your intellect at all, knowing what you know about your zodiac sign, right? So this is why I talk about when your planet is retrograde, especially if you are, you usually zoning out and saying, okay, well, you know, I don't want to think about so I don't want to believe such and such. I can't believe such and such. Go outside and get some fresh air. That's cleansing that confusion off of you. It's this fresh air. The sun is going to do the other job with healing and recharging you. So you're not overthinking it to a point where you just say, I need a nap. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't even want to believe such and such and such and such that I just need a nap. No, go outside and get some sun, get some fresh air and sun, so that sunlight can charge you up like a battery, right? Because you've made a lot of sacrifices for you to check out somewhere. You made way too many sacrifices for you to check out somewhere. Whether it's you made sacrifices for your kids or your parents or whatever the case may be. So yes, you want to get to the bottom of something. You want to get to the bottom of who created what. To sacrifice you and sacrifice either your parents or kids. You want to get to the bottom of it. Right? So subconscious energy would be, like I said, the hangman, right? You know what comes to mind is the movie The Five Heartbeats, where the guy hung the young man upside down off of a balcony, basically trying to empty them out, saying my office hours are from 9 to 5. Like somebody really wanted to be a star so bad, somebody decided they won't get violent, you know, with somebody. You want to get to the root of who would do something like that to your mom, your dad, or your kids, whoever is the sunlight of your life, right? I'm also being very respectful of people who may not have the best relationships, maybe with their kids or with their parents or, you know, whomever. But you want to know who was involved, like who was over there. You know, just like you would ask if somebody invited you to something, okay, who's going to be over there? You need to know, because again, in your friendliness, you're not trying to be fake or phony. You're not trying to, you know, shin and grin in people's faces, right? So source is saying to you, you know, the Magician card here, you know, so the near future is, you know, a new emotional or spiritual opening is near. And so Spirit says expect heart center renewal, love, or deep intuitive connections that's happening here, because a lot of people who are being sacrificed don't know that they're being sacrificed, and something was generational, and somebody was obsessed, was hidden in this is obsession, right? But it was also hidden in this is Mars. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars. Mars is an inner planet. Pluto is an outer planet. It's the outermost planet, right? And so something may not have been clear to you in terms of like generationally what was going on, maybe from your hometown or what was in the company. You know, another thing that's coming to me is the movie The Firm. Yeah, if y'all remember when that young attorney, who was played by Tom Cruise, he had gone through all the schooling and everything, and he was about to take, I want to say he was about to take the bar exam, and all of these people, these law firms were interested in him. They were like, oh no, we want him. He's young, upcoming, so and so, so forth. And if you really go back and watch the movie and start paying attention, there was secrecy involved in something, right? So they were like, oh, we're just a little law firm, and you know, everybody just kind of, it's like this secret, it's just like a secret society or whatever. That's basically what the guy was saying. It's like, okay, we keep secrets, right? And so somebody could have initially thought that you were just being super secretive about something. You just like totally oblivious, like, okay, now what happened, right? Who and what is all involved in what, right? So the you were probably, well, I can't even say probably, people talked about this for you when you were younger, right? The sacral chakra, how you were sacrificed. You were sacrificed when you were younger, and you don't really know what to believe. And so what I'm picking up on here too, for whoever you are, as you were passing on through, something was being done behind your back, Aquarius, but something was also being done by another Aquarius behind their back. Both of y'all are totally oblivious to what the heck was going on. But to find out something coming to light is going to overwhelm somebody. Whether you're overwhelmed or not overwhelmed, or another Aquarius is going to be overwhelmed. Like, they was doing what? But then it's going to start to remind you of a parent was involved in something that was going on behind your back and you didn't know, and they would be willing to sacrifice you for it. You're going to instantly end it with them. As painful as something may be, you're going to instantly end it with them. If it was your child who you've been telling, hey, listen, if your friends, you know, jump off or skydive off out of a plane without a parachute, are you going to just do the same thing and expect the same result? I mean, I don't think anybody going to make it to the bottom. But Source is saying to you, you're ending some things. And while a lot of people try to play that role like it doesn't hurt them, oh, they can cut me off, I mean, I'm built for such a, yeah, right, you're in human form. It does hurt when your loved ones realize, oh man, you know, it's better for somebody to keep it a secret, to say, okay, well, I mean, they want to cut me off. Something is having a rippling effect. So if your parents were involved in something and they finally decide, hey, I need to stop running with this crowd of people, the people are actually excited. Okay, yeah, they'll never find out that we were involved in something. If you decide you're going to cut some people off, they ain't tripping, because guess what? You'll never find out. But that's not true. Remember, you're ruled by a karmic planet, right? You know exactly what they were involved in and how they hung you out to dry. Now you know something is coming back around full circle. You feel fulfilled. You know, whatever you're doing, you feel fulfilled. Whatever job you're working in, you ended conversations with certain people, and now stuff is swinging back around to who did something. Yep, who did something. Somebody's moon could be an Aquarius that did something to you, that initiated something right behind your back. And they thinking that you're going to pay some kind of a karmic debt. You and somebody else are going to pay some kind of a karmic debt. So, in other words, whoever has an Aquarius moon, you don't need people's time of birth. Not everybody on planet Earth knows exactly what time they were born. Just in different parts of the world, everybody doesn't know their time of birth. But you don't need to know their time of birth. But somebody thought they were so smart that you would never figure something out. So, and now they're overwhelmed. And so something was fated to happen. Something was fated to happen. And the subconscious energy, because somebody really wanted to end you. They wanted to end your star. And so they did something behind your back to sacrifice somebody's son, whether it's your father or whether it is your actual son, or you're the son, right? Somebody did something to sacrifice you, right? And they gave the order. Number 1 and 2 is 3. So that connects us with night energy, right? Okay, let's sacrifice this one right here. Let's bring them, let's sacrifice this. They told us, let's loop this into their star, and we're going to sacrifice them. Now they're sitting somewhere overwhelmed, can't believe you figured something out because you're operating in your north node. This is a family member that did this, and now things have come to light, right? Because they wanted to be a star, trying to catch a ride on your shooting star. At least they thought your shooting star, right? So the subconscious energy is the hangman. And so beneath the surface, a shift in perspective is unfolding. Spirit asks you to surrender and see through higher eyes, right? Surrender to source, see things through higher lens, like a higher. And when I talk about recalling your energy, I always talk about recalling your energy and sending back anything that doesn't align with your highest timeline, okay? And so that's what you're doing. Anything that does not align with your highest timeline, you're sending that energy right back. You don't even want that in your auric layer at all. You don't even want that 1 foot off of your auric layer, your body, which is the astral body, right? That's the astral body when we're talking about auric layers. You don't want the energy anywhere near you. And so somebody has been trying to astral project into your energy. I can teach you how to send that energy right back beyond just recalling your energy. Some energies were trying to mirror your energy. So I can teach you how to send that right back, right? And some energies have felt like they mastered something. They felt like they mastered something, trying to mirror your star in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So they were doing it in the physical realm and in the spiritual realm, astral projecting into your energy, right? And so, but there's a Scorpio that exposed something. So even if you don't, a person who doesn't believe in astral projection, or you didn't know what to believe, or like your head spinning around, like, okay, why did I have that kind of dream? Why did I have that kind of download? A Scorpio put an end to something by showing you something, right? A Scorpio high vibrating Scorpio, just so we're crystal clear, showed you something, right? That somebody had to go through some kind of initiation process. And so you asking source, okay, show me what I'm not seeing. Show me what I'm not seeing. Explain it to me as if, I need a blimp to come across the sky with the words of who's involved in what. Like, show me in ways that I need to see it. Don't ever be the person who's like, okay, just being so in your mind, thinking that because you're an incredibly smart person that you would pick up on who's practicing some kind of dark magic. Don't ever do that to yourself, right? Assuming that you know everything, a know-it-all, right? Nobody knows everything, right? So the external influences would be, like I said, Wheel of Fortune. Fate is moving around you. And so spirit shows cycles shifting, opportunities arising, and divine timing guiding your steps, right? So somebody who thought that they were just as smart as you, or knew more than you, or competing against you, whatever the case may be, something has come to light about them and what they did behind your back to sacrifice you and someone else, right? Because they told somebody, oh yeah. So now something is having a rippling effect, right? And you put an end to something. Somebody decided to roll the dice, right? A Leo decided to roll the dice, right? High vibrating Leo involved in something decided to roll the dice and say, okay, something was fated to happen. A low vibrating Leo would have been too arrogant to even, and too prideful to even say, okay, no apology, no nothing. Basically a person who is basically saying, hey, I had to go through this initiation process. What makes them so different? I had to go through the same thing. What makes them so different? But a high vibrating Leo would have been like, nah, I'm not with that. I'm gonna roll the dice. And I'm gonna speak up and I'm gonna say something. Because everything is not all fun and games, right? Somebody wanted to let their inner child come out and play. Like this always like, okay, I always wanted to know about X, Y, and Z, you know, so let me just try something. You got to remember when the moon moves through Scorpio, that speaks to sacred sex and also money, right? So somebody may have said, okay, they want to try something, right? Let me try something that I've never tried before, right? And you may have had a dream about something, that somebody was in some kind of sex ritual or something like that. But again, you're asking source for the physical evidence of things. You can be surprised at how much comes back through your memory. How much comes back through your memory, right? So the hopes and fears would be the death card, right? So you may fear endings, but Spirit says transformation is sacred. And so release brings rebirth and higher alignment. So somebody may have even told you that they had a dream about you going through a rebirth, but they never said anything else, having you to sit there and think and think and think. You don't even need to overthink that. Another human being is not your God. Just make that crystal clear. So if a person is telling you that you're going to be going through some kind of a rebirth in the way that they're saying, and they're not explaining to you how, so to somebody it should sound like a threat. To somebody it should sound like a threat, because in a rebirth is a death, right? So what exactly am I going to have to end, so in order to go through a rebirth, to go through some kind of an initiation process, something around sex that's not sacred. When the moon moves through Scorpio, that's where you do the purging. So if a person is like, okay, I'm going to purge you of something, right? So let's say, for instance, somebody absolutely hates gay people. Let's call it straight out for what it is. Let's say for people hates gay people, right? Or black people, or white people, or whoever. We're gonna take a gamble on some stuff. Right? You hate this group of people, that group of people, whatever the case may be. Because again, you're safe, but you don't have anything to worry about. Because something has already been exposed, reported, all of that. You're not scared of death. Energy never dies. None of that, right? You're on the rebirth side, right? You already feel fulfilled. There's nothing people can do for you at this point, right? Because at some point, somebody had to have the strength and the to say, okay, I don't feel right about something. This ends here. We're not rolling the dice with this one. Something about these two, something seems different about them. They don't seem like they would do anything for fame. They don't seem like they would do anything for the spotlight. So somebody should have said something about you. This one right here, they walk like a star. They something about your energy. You could literally be walking around with your clothes hanging off and hair disheveled and anything. Something about you stands out, like you've always had star quality. You're going to start going back in your memory, and people was like, you know what, I could see you on stage, or I could see you doing this, or I can see you doing that. But somebody decided they wanted to do it in an unhealthy way behind your back, right? Behind your back and somebody else's back, right? And so if you even feel like somebody created something, I'm going to tell y'all, just like I'll tell other zodiac signs, you need to report it, because you need to report it to authorities. Because if something is going around the world, you need to report it to federal authorities. Even if they just say, hey, you report it to local. Nah, because why would somebody be doing something behind your back? What's the purpose of that? The fastest way to get something out is through the World Wide Web. So if they legit and they ain't doing nothing, right, then they don't have anything to worry about. They have nothing to worry about. But somebody, you got to see the polarity to this is Virgo, right? Polarity to this is Leo. The polarity to this is Taurus, or the Hierophant, right? So all of these energies are somehow connected in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and trying to link you to some unhealthy sexual practices that you could have thought you were having sacred sex with somebody, and somebody's like, it's not sacred. With the push of a button, something be sent all around the world. Like I said, you're safe and protected. Everything you learn will be used for your life's purpose. But somebody's about to find out who your loved ones, how far your loved ones would go for fame. How far they would go for fame. And here you are, like I said, la-di-da-di-da, you know, just kind of sort of, well, I mean, you're not pressed. You're not pressed, you're not desperate for fame. But yeah. So, this week for you, from the 1st to the 8th, you know, this week shows you awakening in your highest alignment. And so trust the changes, surrender illusions, and step into renewal. Endings are not lost. They are initiation into your greater soul's truth. Into your greater soul's truth. Yeah. So somebody may have thought that you'd be willing to just be a part of something, whether somebody says, oh, we're going to create something, you know, that's going to, you know, bring in a fortune, right? Not behind your back. Not without you seeing something, having some kind of, you know, okay, what exactly were you filming behind my back? Did you film me walking to the bus stop? You know, do you see me coming out of the grocery store looking half crazy? Because, you know, I'm thinking I'm just going to run in and just grab a loaf of bread or some eggs or so whatever the case may be. And I didn't get myself together. Or what exactly were you doing behind my back? The spy is now turned on. But if it has something to do with, you know, somebody filming you, like you thinking you having, you know, in relationship, like a normal person would be in a relationship with somebody and they sitting there filming some stuff. Oh, heck no. They ain't seen overwhelm. They haven't seen overwhelm till they met you. Here we have your ancestors are proud of you. They haven't seen overwhelm until they met you, until they came in contact with you. Somebody has a very lustful spirit. They ain't seen overwhelm. They're about to be initiated by source, the creator, right? Meaning that their prayer life is about to increase. Here we have do the mirror work. Yeah, so you could have been somewhere where somebody had a lot of mirrors. They could have had signs up saying they filming stuff, whatever the case may be. So if somebody misses you, healed people move differently. So get some fresh air. Somebody wanted to catch you in a sting. Somebody wanted to catch you in a sex sting. They thought you was a part of a ring, whoever you are. Okay? So open your vault door. Vault door is the next phase of life for you, and throat chakra cleanse. Like I said, singing could do that. Singing could do that for you. You don't have to be a singer. You don't have to be a singer. It's not a contest. You don't have to be a singer to open up your throat chakra, right? You can practice, a chant. You can listen to 741 frequency. You can practice singing. You can do affirmations, right? Right, affirmations, right? And so somebody wants to call you, but they haven't changed. Yeah, they don't need to call you. And so keep moving forward. Yeah, so somebody's about to go through an initiation process with source, and that's increasing their prayer life. That's increasing their prayer life. Solar plexus chakra cleanse, right? So your new home awaits. So somebody regrets lying to you about something. So somebody's a druid, a kind of malevolent nocturnal spirit associated with nightmares. So you could have been having nightmares because you're picking up on other people's energy. Right, and so people could have been like, oh yeah, you know, they having nightmares because, you know, they did something strange for change or funny for money and you ain't do anything. So here we have dance around your home as if no one is watching. So yeah, somebody else about to go through an initiation process, because what Aquarius is afraid of whoever, it's all becoming clear to you now. So much better lies ahead for you. Much better lies ahead for you. You know, you people out here working hard. I think that's what people literally forget about Aquarius, because you all are ruled by the other planet Uranus, which is currently retrograde. That's the rebellious planet. That's the one that's ice cold, the one that would make you aloof and detached from something. And so people were like, oh yeah, maybe they don't really care about somebody going through the initiation process that involves sex that's not sacred, right? Of course you do. You're no respecter person. You would not agree to anybody going through some kind of practices for whatever. So yeah, if it's a family member or a loved one, or even if it's your adult child that put you through some stuff, guess what? Rebirth. Their prayer life has just been increased. They've been initiated by God or whoever they believe they're a believer. They're like I took y'all through the wolf situation. Now they have been enlightened. They know for certain that you're not playing. Okay, somebody sacrifices you because they feel like somebody sacrificed them. Guess what? That's the end of the relationship. They wanted to meet a cold Aquarius. They just met them. Ice cold. And that's not because you don't forgive people. That's because everybody got a slit in their lips where they cut in some vocal cords. Or if you can't talk, if you're a mute, you can at least do some hand signals, something to say, okay, you know, I'm aware that you're going through some kind of a ritual or something like that. You're not aware of something. And they sitting back terrified, scared, heart beating out of their chest, whatever. They could have sent up Batman signals, anything for real. But nah, message from your ancestors. The answers you seek are coming. I feel like you already have the answer. Somebody's a changeling, the child of fairies or demons who have been substituted for a human baby. Another spirit took over somebody. You forgive people, but access is denied. They have not been completely, a partial truth is a whole lie. So take your time to decide. You already made a decision. Dream even bigger. You already made a decision. Like I said, you can forgive people. You don't even have to tell them what you know what they did. You don't even have to tell them. But even though you got the Fool card, you know, this right here is this Star card, World card, and the Fool card, you are not Boo-Boo the Fool. Nor are you Homie the Clown. Nor are you in a circus. So, this came up, sacral chakra. Yeah. So yeah, somebody was definitely trying to disrupt your peace in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Yours and somebody else's peace. By causing you some kind of mental conflict. I'm telling you, something was driving somebody crazy. And so this sacral chakra right here, get outside near water so that you can purge all of this, any kind of conflict you're going through, whoever you are, because somebody has really been suffering in silence. And I don't think it's you, because they had to go through 2 and 9, which is an initiation process, and somebody secretly wanted to initiate you without telling you that you were being initiated. So some kind of new partnerships are forming for you all. And so somebody has love coming across their path, and we're talking about fulfillment of your wishes. Write them down. Write down what you want your 9 wishes to be, right? Is it money? Is it love life? What is it? You know, a new home, a job, what you want. Write it down. Put it out into the universe. Because you're an authoritative figure. Whether you're a man or woman, you're structured and you're authoritative. So every seed you plant, right? Yeah, every seed you plant. Like some of you all love to plant seeds for your garden and all of that other stuff. You know, you took time and planted a seed in the ground, and the roots for you run real deep. And they coming up through the soil, right? So yeah, you are very much aware. Your third eye is wide open, right? And so, yeah. Throat chakra, like I said before, you're very, very much aware. Very much aware. So, someone who is a very nurturing spirit is very much aware of what you've gone through, and they know how to, somebody knows that you are a nurturer. They are aware of the initiation process that people go through, and so the truth had to be weighed on a scale. Like, okay, is this person telling the truth about something, or are they not telling the truth about something? And so you actually add to people's peace. This you right here, the truth was being weighed on the scale like a feather. So adjust your crown. Adjust your crown. Something is closed out. You're not playing games with people. Right? You're in harmony and sync. Somebody has love coming across their path, because people know that you're very nurturing. You wouldn't put yourself through that, your parents or your kids. You wouldn't put nobody through that. Like, but something has been going on in your family, whoever you are, for a very long time, that something is coming to light. And somebody could have stopped whatever initiation process a long time ago. And I know that because of these outer planets down here in your thing, but they didn't. So the baton was passed to you, and you said, heck no to the no. You ain't with the ish. You're not with it. So it's something about your crown chakra and your throat chakra. You just speaking your truth about something. Like you speaking your truth. Like you're not with what? Yeah. Your happiness does not depend on what happens in your life. Like you tapped into joy within you. This right here. Yeah, this right here. Somebody thought that you was making a fortune, like you was getting some kind. I don't know what people was thinking that, but I'm saying you created something, like you created a business or you created something. Maybe you have multiple streams of income or something. But this is you, metamorphosis. Yeah, this is you. That's why you're happy. You're happy because you believed in a dream, and guess what? You're about to dream even bigger because your dream came to fruition. And like this book that I share with you all, the 12 Laws of Life, it's bigger than just the law of attraction. It's bigger than just that, right? So I don't know if y'all have this book or not, but it's bigger than just the law of attraction here. So you don't have to go through these. Some of these people just be lying about what people had to go through in order to become, who they are. And they're not willing to stop it. They're not willing to say, oh, like if y'all watch the movie The Firm. Right, if y'all go watch that movie, that art, their music industry, government, whatever, some people really do need to sleep their way. They feel like they have to sleep their way to the top in some companies and organizations. Y'all know the movie by Tyler Perry, The Family That Prays Together, where Robin Gibbons' character in there was talking to Sanaa Lathan's character, and she was like, she had to sit back in her chair for a minute and basically let her know, I worked hard for everything I had. Like, hold on, what you doing, right? So you're gaining some clarity. You've already gained some clarity. I just shared with this in the reading right here. So, but you will be, and like I said, some people, the reason why they don't care if you cut them off, because they feel like you don't know a full story about something, right? But you're about to find out the full story about something. And so when you find out fully what was going on and you make a decision to cut some people off, that's when it's going to really cut deep because of the shame and embarrassment attached to it. Some people think you don't know what's going on. So they be like, okay, I don't care if they cut you off. You're like, okay, all right. Well, as long as they got their fortune, they don't care because somebody was just in it for money. As long as they got their dream home or dream life or dream whatever, as long as you don't know, they'll sit there and talk to you on the phone like nothing ever happened. You think you be talking to different personalities. So Source is saying everything is coming to light. Everything is coming to light. And once they realize that you know a full picture, and you still no respect of a person, but you'll pull out that sword in a heartbeat and cut them off too, guess that's when you're going to see a whole different, something else coming through, right? Whole different something else coming through. Everybody that's talking about you behind your back is not making disparaging comments, but there's some energies that do have your back. They know about the theft, the betrayal, the dishonesty, the divorce for some of you all, somebody having some kind of an affair, some kind of deception, some kind of trickery. Some people know what's really, really going on here. And so somebody can get the message loud and clear. Somebody has gotten the message loud and clear. So some people do have your back, in a situation. Some people really, really do know that you wouldn't do anything for stardom or fame or whatever the case may be. So some people have your back. So, yeah. The devil is crafty, but the devil is always in the details of something, right? All right. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. I know this is a lengthy reading, but like I said, there are rituals that you can do during the waxing gibbous moon, and part of it is journal about your goals and see where you can refine those goals. So if you've been having, like I said, you have a lot of wishes that's being fulfilled, so be as clear about your wishes being fulfilled as possible, but don't waste it on these energies who decided, okay, they want to make a fortune off of you, whoever you are. Somehow somebody think, okay, they got a little lemonade stand over there. They won't know what's going on. They're totally oblivious to it. They see how that smile on their face making you look like a fool. Right? Look at that smile. They smile because you don't know what's going on. So this week for you is about awakening into your highest alignment, right? And your friendliness has paid off. Your kindness and your humanitarianism has paid off. Okay, so continue being happy, and like I said, that's bringing you up to a higher frequency. Part of my assignment is to be the lighthouse and just shine a light on stuff at a lower frequency to show, bring it up to the top to help you to ascend, so that you don't have to carry other people's emotional baggage on your back as you continue to soar like an eagle. Hopefully this is helpful. I do see you in a romantic relationship with somebody that may end up in marriage for you all. So congratulations to you all. Your prediction video, if you're on Patreon side, is already up. It's already up. So, and it kind of sort of speaks to this a little bit. But yeah, somebody regrets lying to you about something. Who knows? Anyway, that's what I have for you. I'll see you all in, and also, like I said, is Taurus involved in something that said something, right? That's what I have for you. See you all in the next video. Bye.